Let's start with 14-6. Question here is fairly easy, class. Immediately after the combination, the amounts to be reported for inventory and plant equipment in the consolidated statement of financial position are, basically you're being asked to solve for the amount to be reported in the consolidated balance sheet for your inventory and plant and equipment. And as we already know by now, if you're asked for the consolidated amounts for your assets and liabilities, you'll just have to add the amounts of from the acquirer and the acquiree. But if it's from the acquirer, it should be included at book value, while if it's from the acquiree, it will be included at fair value. So we would expect that the amounts from the acquirer and acquiree should be given. Let's check. First table there, selected accounts from Panay, which would be our acquirer. We have their inventory of 360. And then for the acquiree, Sulu, instead of 120, we will be using the fair value of 130. So this would simply be 360 plus 130. That will give you 490. So it's going to be either A or D. Next, for your plant and equipment at book value from the acquirer would be your 500,000. And then from the acquiree, not the 440 book value, but the fair value of 420. So you will have 500 plus 420, you would get 920,000. For the sake of practice, class, assuming there are no other assets and liabilities from the acquiree, let's solve for the resulting goodwill or gain. And what are the two things we need to solve for goodwill or gain, class? Consideration and the fair value of the net assets. Here, our computation for goodwill will be exactly the same as what we have discussed in asset acquisition, because this is a stock acquisition wherein we are acquiring 100%. Again, if it's an acquisition of a wholly owned subsidiary, if it's a stock acquisition for 100% ownership, it will just be the same as a net asset acquisition. So the consideration in this problem is 400,000. Assuming no other assets and liabilities from the acquiree, in this case the subsidiary, class, how much would be the fair value of the net assets? You have 130 plus 420. That will give you 550. However, we are forced to make an assumption, class, that there must be liabilities here. Why? Because if you check the equity portion, class, understand that your net asset is essentially the same as your equity, class. If you look at the book values of the assets, it's 120 plus 440, and that will give you 560. And then, but if you look at the equity, class, common stock of 175, then APIC or share premium of 225, that will give you 400, minus 30. The equity or the net assets must be 370. That is at book value. But if you look at the assets, class, it's how much? 560. But as what we've computed, the net assets is 370. There's a difference of how much? 560 and 370. Is that 190? So to make the accounting equation correct, class, there must be liabilities here of 190. So assuming that's the case, instead of just 130 plus 420, let's have the 130, 420 fair value, that's 550. Deduct the hidden liabilities of 190. How much is 550 minus 190? 360. So consideration of 400 and then fair value of net assets at how much? 360. So that will give us 40,000 difference. Goodwill or gain? Goodwill of 40,000. Just in case that will be asked in this problem, for me, the correct answer for goodwill would be 40,000. By the way, what's the letter choice here, class? Letter A, 490 and 920. Let's proceed to 14-7. The question is still the same. You're asked for the consolidated amount and still at the date of acquisition, so no issue. On December 31, CISA company held the following assets. On this date, PO company purchased all of CISA's common stock. What amount will CISA's building and land be reported in the consolidated statement of financial position? At this point, it should be an insult already, class, for you to be asked with this question. We're not even asked for the consolidated amount. You are just being asked in the consolidated statement of financial position, what amount will be included from the assets of the acquiree or the subsidiary. And in this case, we already know that the answer is fair value, class. So for your building, it would be 180, and then for your land, it would be 90. That's simply letter A. Hopefully, these kind of questions will come out in your departmental exams. What possible reason could you have to get this problem wrong? You've grown accustomed, class, to a presentation wherein the second column is the fair value. That's the only reason you would get this wrong, class. You've grown accustomed to the presentation that the second column is the fair value. But for that to happen, you simply have to close your eyes on the phrases fair value and book value, class. And that's very careless already, class. Are we given with the consideration? For the sake of practice, how much is the resulting goodwill, assuming no other liabilities and assets, class? Again, everything at fair value of current assets, so 90, building 180, land 90, that would be 460. 460, class. And then you're given with the consideration of 440, there's a difference of 20,000. In case it will be asked, there's a resulting gain on acquisition amounting to 20,000. At this point, you don't even need calculators just to solve for resulting goodwill or gain. Next, as I can recall, this will be somewhat difficult problem. Let's check. Question is, non-controlling interest is recorded at estimated fair value. What amounts of goodwill and non-controlling interest should be reported in the consolidated statement of financial position? So basically here, this is the eliminating entry, class. In preparing your consolidated financial statements, you use the balances from the parent and the balances from the subsidiary. You put them in the same worksheet. You eliminate those accounts to be eliminated, and you should come up with your consolidated balances. So here, we're given the eliminating entry on the date of acquisition. It's a partial entry. Two amounts are lacking, and these are your goodwill and non-controlling interest. So basically, we're being asked to solve for the resulting goodwill, class. Okay? And why is this not as simple as how we've been computing for goodwill? It's because the acquisition is for less than 100%. And I hope you've watched the recording on how to solve for the goodwill in these cases, class. Okay? I always want you to use the 3x3 table, and I want you to always complete the table, class. Okay? But first, normally what is given would be the consideration for the 80%. And here the problem tells us that the parent pays 480,000 for 80% of the outstanding shares of the subsidiary. Okay, so the consideration here would be 480,000, but understand that the consideration is only for 80%. Basically, the acquirer is saying the value to me for this 80% ownership stake is only 480,000. Once we have the consideration, the other thing we need is your fair value of your net assets. And then how do we get our net assets, class? You can get the net assets by looking at the equity that were eliminated, class. Why are we eliminating these equity accounts? Because these are the equity accounts of the acquiree or the subsidiary. And yes, you should know already, in the consolidated or combined financial statements, we do not combine the equity accounts of the acquirer and the acquiree. Only the equity accounts of the acquirer is reflected. So if we are combining the acquirer and the acquiree, the equity accounts of the acquiree should be eliminated. So if we compute for the total equity of the acquiree, class, you have there 100, 120, and 180. How much will that give you? 400,000. But you have to be careful. That is still based on the book values, class. So if you will be asked how much is the book value of the net assets of the acquiree, your answer would be 400,000. Is it the book value that we need, class? No, we need the fair value of the net assets. But if you look at the eliminating entry, class, there's only one other item affecting the assets or liability